We're doing a video today on an RBL-G2 here at Tri-Tool Technologies. Our RBL-G2 version can go all the way from a 614 machine all the way up to a 642. It will do 3 pipe size ranges, except for the 614 can go down all the way to 7 inches for casings. I already got it set up on the pipe. Instead of doing a split frame, this machine can split in half and go over a run, a pipe. So right now we're just doing a quick setup, show you the different versions of drives. And then in my next video, I'm also gonna do the OD trackers. So currently we're set up on a piece of 14-inch stainless Schedule 10. So when we have standard pads on here and we have ovality problems with pipe, we got a couple of choices. We can run the OD trackers, which I'll show next. And then also we have full support pads. So you get more contact all the way around the pipe. And there's a side that's adjustable and a side that is fixed. And so then you're set to the OD. And when you clamp it up, it takes the ovality right out of the pipe. So we'll go ahead and show setting up the machine. In the manual, you'll just pick the correct diameter of the pipe on the OD, come up to the manual, and this manual covers the 14 all the way to 42 inch. So you pick the right size machine, come down to the diameter that you're doing, and then you'll have the pad sizes, and which are engraved on the side of the pad. What we like to do is set 2 of the pads on opposite sides like that. You can grab the base of the machine, pull it out. As you're pulling it out, you just kind of wiggle it into place like that. And I just put this one as snug, just to hold it. Then I'm going to go to the opposite 2 sides that are still free, and I'm going to use it as a pivot to get my square. So once I have that side square, the side that I did just by feel, I'll go back and double check that side. And it was good. Go ahead and do our center. You can use any portion of the machine. You just want to pick out the same spot when you go to the opposite side. So you want to tighten one side and loosen the other. Not ever loosen one side all the way so you don't lose your square. You can also use 2 wrenches and tighten one and loosen the other one at the same time to help that. Now our machine's centered. What we always want to do is go back and double check the square in case while we were moving the machine, it didn't come out of square. So our machine's squared in center now. On different diameters of clamshell rings, we have jack screws for additional support. You just want to go down and touch those off. This particular ring only has 2 of them. Larger rings have multiple. Once you do set off your jack screws, you always want to go back and double check your pads to make sure they didn't come loose when you tightened your jack screws. So at this time, we'd be ready to set up our tooling, decide if we're running a single drive or a double drive that's capable of due to wall thickness, but with thin wall, we're just going to run a single drive. These are the tripping mechanisms that feed the tooling in, and you can either have 1 or 2. They're feeding 2.5 thou per tripper. So if we're running both, it's running at 5,000 advancement of the tooling. Talk about the air motors. We have an inline air motor that's available. If you had any kind of constraint issues, you can have a right angle drive pneumatic. We can also run it off a hydraulic, but for this particular cut, I'm going to actually run a heavy duty electric drive, which has 2 gearboxes and a variable speed. When we move sizes, I'm going to pull off a tool block. Because when we move sizes on this particular machine, we don't have to move our tripper pin. It stays in the same location. And on the back of the tool block is where the star wheel is that advances the tooling. And that's where we change the location when we move to sizes. So if we were to move sizes, we'd remove our block. We want to go down to 12 inches. We just move up 1 set of butt holes. And as you go down, that's how you do it. Now on the back of the machine tool block right here, you'll see that there's a star wheel. That's what advances the tooling. And that's the piece with these 2 bolts that you'll move prior to moving the tool block. Look in the next video for the OD tracking block.